4 people are dead in Tunisia. The heaviest rainfall in 75 years is flooding communities and claiming lives across the nation. This Tuesday, Tunisia's state-run Tunis Afrique Press confirmed the fatalities as a catastrophic weather system unleashes record-breaking rain across the country. The numbers tell a brutal story. 230 millimeters of rainfall hammered the coastal city of Moknine. This represents the most intense precipitation event Tunisia has recorded since 1950. The mechanism of disaster unfolded with deadly precision. Between Monday evening and Tuesday, 4 people lost their lives in Moknine, a city in the eastern coastal province of Monastir. That's where the rainfall hit hardest, 230 millimeters in a matter of hours. For context, this surpasses any rainfall measurement Tunisia has documented in 3/4 of a century. Here's how the crisis escalated overnight. Khalil Meshri, head of operations and follow-up at the Civil Protection Department, provided specific details about the emergency response. Civil defense units conducted over 106 interventions by 5 a.m. local time on Tuesday. That's 400 GMT for international reference. These weren't routine emergency calls. Teams worked through the darkness, inspecting flooded roads across multiple regions. They located and removed vehicles stranded by rising waters as the flooding spread. The scope of rescue operations reveals the scale of the crisis facing Tunisia. Civil defense teams evacuated 15 people from areas where water levels made remaining in place dangerous, but the evacuations represent only a fraction of the response effort. Approximately 300 residents required direct assistance just across flooded valleys and waterlogged areas that had transformed into barriers cutting off communities from essential services and escape routes. Before we continue, don't forget to hit subscribe and ring the notification bell to keep you updated on this developing crisis and other critical news from around the world. The flooding follows a specific pattern that's overwhelming Tunisia's infrastructure. Heavy rain falls across the region in unprecedented volumes. Tunisia's rivers and streams, designed to handle normal seasonal flow, cannot accommodate the sudden massive influx of water. The overflow creates hazardous road conditions that emerge rapidly and spread across several regions simultaneously. What authorities describe as rivers and streams overflowing has created a network of dangerous zones where water depth and current strength make travel deadly. Tunisia's National Institute of Meteorology has issued a red alert, the highest level in their warning system. This classification isn't issued lightly. A red alert represents the most severe weather threat in Tunisia's meteorological classification system, reserved for events that pose immediate danger to life and property. The red alert covers 3 critical areas. First, the Grand Tunis area, Tunisia's largest metropolitan region and the country's political and economic center. Second, Nabil province along the northeastern coast. Third, Monastir province, where the 4 fatalities occurred and where rainfall measurements reached their peak at 230 millimeters. Right now, authorities have suspended classes in more than 8 governorates. The decision to close schools across more than 8 of Tunisia's 24 governorates indicates that dangerous conditions extend far beyond the 3 provinces under red alert. Each governorate represents a significant administrative region with numerous schools, meaning thousands of students and staff have been kept home as the storm continues. Major roads have been closed across the affected regions. These aren't minor route adjustments. When authorities close major roads in Tunisia, they're shutting down critical transportation arteries that connect cities, ports, and economic zones. The closures indicate that water depth or road damage has made these routes impassable or structurally unsafe. The government response has escalated to the highest levels. Tunisian President Kais Saied has instructed the military to join rescue operations nationwide, according to local media reports. Military deployment for domestic disaster response represents a significant escalation. It signals that civilian emergency services, the Civil Protection Department units already conducting over 106 interventions, have reached a point where they require additional personnel, equipment, and organizational capacity that only military resources can provide. Here's what authorities are telling residents right now: remain vigilant. The warning acknowledges that conditions can deteriorate rapidly and without additional notice. Avoid flood-prone areas. This instruction recognizes that many zones considered safe under normal circumstances become dangerous during record rainfall events. Follow safety instructions. Authorities are issuing specific guidance through official channels, and compliance isn't optional, it's survival. The reason for these urgent warnings is clear. Heavy rain and strong winds are expected to continue. the storm system hasn't exhausted itself. Additional rainfall will fall on already saturated ground. Rivers and streams already at capacity will receive more water they cannot channel safely. Roads already flooded will face additional inundation. Communities already cut off may remain isolated longer. The historical significance of this event cannot be overstated. The heaviest rainfall since 1950 means Tunisia hasn't experienced this level of precipitation in 75 years. Anyone under 75 years old has never lived through flooding of this magnitude in Tunisia. The infrastructure, emergency response systems, and urban planning currently in place were developed based on rainfall patterns that did not include events of this severity. Moknine, the city where all 4 fatalities occurred, sits in Moknine province along Tunisia's eastern coast. The coastal location means the city faces flooding from both the rainfall itself and potential impacts from storm surge or elevated sea levels. The 230-millimeter measurement represents the rainfall total, but the actual water accumulation in streets and low-lying areas may exceed that figure when accounting for runoff from higher elevations and overflow from nearby water systems. The 106 interventions conducted by civil defense units by 5 a.m. Tuesday morning represent only the documented emergency responses during the initial hours of the crisis. Each intervention required dispatching teams, assessing the situation, executing the rescue or assistance operation, and securing the area. The pace of 106 interventions in just the overnight hours suggests that calls for help were coming in faster than teams could respond, creating a backlog of emergencies. Communities across Tunisia face immediate challenges. The flooded valleys and waterlogged areas that required civil defense assistance for 300 people to cross represent barriers to daily life. Residents cannot reach work, medical facilities, or stores. Emergency vehicles cannot reach people who need help. The isolation created by flooding can be as dangerous as the water itself, particularly for vulnerable populations including the elderly, disabled, or those with medical conditions requiring regular treatment. The question facing Tunisia centers on duration and additional impact. How long will the heavy rain and strong winds continue? Each additional hour of precipitation adds to the total accumulation. Will the 230 millimeters recorded in Moknine represent the peak, or will other locations exceed that measurement? The 4 confirmed deaths occurred in one city. Will other communities report additional fatalities as conditions continue? Tunisia's geography creates specific vulnerabilities during extreme rainfall events. The country's eastern coast, where Moknine and the red alert zones are located, features a combination of urban development, agricultural land, and natural drainage systems. When rainfall exceeds the capacity of these drainage systems, water accumulates in low-lying areas, creating the flooded valleys and waterlogged zones that authorities describe. The closure of major roads creates cascading effects beyond immediate travel disruption. Tunisia's economy depends on transportation networks to move goods between ports, cities, and industrial zones. Road closures mean delivery delays, potential food supply disruptions, and economic losses that compound daily while routes remain impassable. For residents in affected areas, closed roads can mean isolation from essential services and delayed emergency response times. Don't forget to subscribe and stay updated on this developing story and other critical global events. Hit that notification bell so you never miss breaking news that could impact communities worldwide.